So I'd like to introduce my collection of surfskates. First is a globe deck with a clone yaw trucks and the Lucid deck from Amazon with a yaw Meraki clone trucks. Next is a Antiz Mystic deck with a Wooddetail clone trucks again. And then here comes my authentic board, which is the loaded Omakase. With this time it goes with a Carver C7 authentic trucks. I'll go on more later. Hello everybody, I'm Amelia and I've been surf skating for around 5 months. I would like to share a bit about my surf skate experience, especially my surf skate setups, because I've been customizing my setups a lot. I have 5 surf skates as of now. The first one being a globe deck, globe chromatin with a clone yaw version 4 S5. That's the spring, which is slightly harder. I have another one with you can get it on Amazon. It's a Lucid 33-inch deck with a yaw Meraki clone 2. Then next I have, it's one of my cheaper setup, which I have a Antiz Mystic deck that's about 31-inch with Wooddetail trucks, clone trucks again. Yes, and the other one is a Yamba 900 CX5. You can get the deck, the cruiser deck from Decathlon, and the trucks is a CX clone trucks. And it rides really well because I added a angled riser plate, which you can get from Lazada for like $5. And of course my most expensive deck is a loaded Omakase deck with a Carver C7 trucks. So, well, that's my most expensive setup, but that's more like my cruiser deck that I have. So out of the 5, all of them are being customized. There's none of them that's complete that you actually get. So I would like to share my experience with all these different clone trucks that you get. Yeah, if I bought them authentic, I probably wouldn't have 5 setups. I probably would only have like 2 or maybe 3. Let's see. So initially I started riding with the cruiser deck of about 34-inch with a Waterborne surf skate. That was the first time I tried surf skating. It wasn't easy because the Waterborne, although most people recommend it to beginners, I wouldn't exactly recommend it to someone with no skating experience at all because it sways too much side to side, the end-to-end lean, and you probably fall off getting on the board the very first time. So what I had was, and some of the cruiser deck was about less than 9-inch wide, so it wasn't very comfortable for my foot once I have to pump a little bit more. So, which was why I went online and searched for surf skates, and the first one I saw, which really caught my eye, was this, the Globe Chromatin. It has some really pretty cool design. As you can see, it's all black, saying, yeah, it's from Australia. It comes with a Revenge Alpha 2 trucks. It will be good for beginners. It's more like a cruiser deck. I won't exactly call it a surf skate because it's really hard to pump and you can't really get very tight angles. Also, if you look at this hose here, which is all the way at the end here and all the way at the end here, for a 33-inch deck, it's really far. It was more than 20-inch, so it's really hard to pump. That could be one of the reasons why it was so hard to pump. You're just not able to get tight turns also out of it. So what I did was I changed the trucks to a As you can see here, a cloned S4. So my wheels are still the same, are still the globe wheels, which I really like it. It is 70 millimeters and 83A for durometer. So what happened was I actually drilled extra holes. You can see here, I drilled the holes so that I have a slightly narrower wheelbase. This is still pretty long at about 19 inch. I love it to ride as just cruising because I can even do tight turns to it because the S4 is quite responsive. Sorry, the V4 is quite responsive, and I like it. I actually tried this and compared to my friend's V4, which initially she wrote it and she sold it, but it doesn't matter. What happened is I don't think there's much of a difference, and I actually really liked it. And I also compared it to my friend's Meraki. It's about the same. The only difference is that this is way heavier. It's solid, but it's pretty heavy actually. Yeah, it's quite a nice deck. I love the globe deck. It has a perfect shape for me, and I guess I feel safest with it. And the wheels are really good for sliding. It grips whenever you want it, and it slides whenever you want. And it gives that sound so that you know when you're going to like catch it back at which point you want. One of my favorite, I won't say favorite, most trustworthy deck. Next up, it's one of them that I had the deck for quite a while, and I really like it because it's cheap too. It's about 80 Sing dollars for just the deck. It's the Antiz Mystic deck. It's supposed to be just a cruiser or old school skateboard deck, but it has the perfect concave. You can see here, this is the nose, and here is a tail. So it has really nice concave. You see from here, it's really nice if you want a deck that has lots of concave. So that was one of the things that I was looking for when I tried one of the Yao deck, and I didn't really like it because it was too flat for me. Yeah, the only exception is Snapple. So for this, I have the clone Wooddetail trucks, and for this I actually paired it with the blood orange wheels. This is 88A for 70 millimeters. To be honest, I don't really like this set of wheels. I don't think it slides easily, but I just need something to go with this deck, so yeah. So for this, I have a 16 to 16.5 inch wheelbase, which is good. I know it's a bit narrow for my height, but because it doesn't, well, it is quite the spring, it's spring based, but it's really tight. So what happens is you don't get as much turn and lean. So I will need to step even further. Usually it will be like the foot will be like here, but for this it needs to go slightly further for my stance. So I guess it's sufficient for my stance, where my back leg will be at the pocket, and this will be at the front here instead of like usually you have it here. So I gain about an inch or two in terms of stance, which is just right for me. For the grip, you see it's slightly different. I add the Lucid glow in the dark grip, which is really nice. It grips really well. It's really coarse actually. It's supposed to be medium, but it's quite coarse. It grips, and I don't slide out so easily. So one good deck, and it's cheap. This setup is really cheap. I think I have it at around 170, around there. Good for people who like something that has a lot of concave and just want to have a different ride from like a super responsive Yao Smooth Star, or like CX, which is you don't have that well, you get about the same amount lean, but yeah, this has more recoil. That's what I was saying. Yep. So, but the downside of this, there's a very big downside, is that the front trucks is crazy heavy. Just even if I remove the trucks and just this adapter, it is very heavy. It makes this whole deck from a super light setup to a moderately heavy setup. So pros and cons. If you want something different, that's something to look for. So next up, we will have another deck. Okay, so next up, the next deck that I have is this, a 33-inch deck, a Lucid cruiser deck, I guess. I'm not sure. Found it on Amazon, $90 Sing. It's a bamboo deck on top, bamboo layer, and 5 layers of maple deck. So it's pretty hardy. There's a bit of flex. This, on the other hand, it's the kind that you find it's quite common. As you can see, not a lot of concave. Yeah, that's the kicktail, but not a lot of concave for your pocket. So I use the Lucid grip with it. Glow in the dark grip. Not sure if you can see it here. And initially it had a wheelbase that's quite far, all the way on top here and here. So it's about, I guess it was 19, 20, around there, 20 inch. But I further drill more holes and started decorating my deck on its own, draw some waves and stuff. And this, I paired it with the, yes, clone again, clone Meraki trucks. Yeah, with, I got same wheels from Globe, that roundabout Onshore series wheels. That is 83A 70 millimeters, which is great for anything you can do. This is extremely responsive because I have a wheelbase around, again, 16 and a half to 617, which is I think it's just right for my height, but I do find it a little bit small. I have a slightly wider stance. I find it better to feel more stable. So this is very responsive there. Anyone who has no skate experience go on this is like, whoa, they feel like they're gonna fall any time. So Meraki, do not recommend to newbies. Yeah, but I always feel that if you start on riding a Yao, because it recoils, it's responsive in a way. If you can ride a Yao, you can ride anything except maybe for a swell tech. So if you want a cheap option, you can build your own deck too, like this. This is about 200 Sing dollars. So because it's 90, 70, and about 40 to 50 for the trucks. And bearings, which I got from Taobao, so it's not very expensive. Yeah, 200 maybe or less. This is a very good, slightly more advanced deck. I mean, if you go for the longer wheelbase, then it's great for beginners, because I actually let my friends who are beginners try off my Globe with Yao V4 setup. That's about 19 inch, so they're fine with it. It's a good way to start because it's easy to start that heel toe action to get you start pumping, but it just feels a bit more unsafe for them when they're doing carving. But yeah, maybe not too short wheelbase. 17 is a little bit short. I find it hard too, but it's fun with this deck. Next up, for this one, we have, well, before that I've been going on clone Meraki trucks, clone V4 trucks, and clone Wooddetail trucks. This time we have something all authentic. It's a loaded Omakase deck, the row deck. I wanted to get the other one, the pump one, but a row deck will do. Yeah, it is 33.5 inch if I'm not wrong. It's a pretty heavy deck. Yeah, it's quite hardy. I knocked a couple of times to a wall and you don't really see much scratches here, nor at the back, just a little bit when I pop it up. Hello, you responding? Just a bit when I pop it up, so it's not a lot of damage. The one that broke my heart was this, when I just got the deck and it landed on the concrete steps. But other than that, it's a really hardy deck. So I'm pairing it with this. It's a Carver C7, which I bought it secondhand, but I doubt the person has used the trucks before. Wheel same, Globe 70 A3A Onshore series. Favorite wheels. This, it's I guess it's about 18 wheelbase 18, but yeah, the C7 didn't exactly had a lot of turn like I expected, but it's a perfect cruiser. I mean, if you want to do like power pumping, it's really great. Not for like a lot of carvings. So to bridge a bit of that, I actually added a angled riser pad, which changed it quite a bit. I really like it. Yeah, one of my most expensive deck. I'm not gonna reveal the price, but favorite, one of my favorite. It's like it's heavy but not extremely heavy. You can bring it anywhere. You can shred it, I guess, but I'm not gonna shred it. Yeah, it's like my baby. Will not damage this. It's gonna stay with me for a long time. Yeah, if you oh right, so a few things to recommend about it is that it has really nice concaves. See, there's where you can put your front foot here, all these wheel flares. So actually, even without the riser pads, I do not get any wheel bite, but because of the angled riser. And here is the pocket right for the back foot. It's very comfortable. There was once when I paired it with a Yao Meraki clone trucks, the real trucks actually got loose. They were falling apart. My friend was riding it and he didn't even realize it because he said that the deck sticks so well to his foot that, well, he doesn't feel anything like it's very wobbly or anything. No idea. But yeah, awesome deck. Great for people of my height, which is around 1.78 to 1.8. Perfect height for my car. It's a Yamba 900 here. And as you can see, for the trucks, I changed it to a pair of clone CX trucks. This is C2 trucks. And I changed this to 85A. This is still 92A. So it gives a very surfy feel. This wheelbase around 16, I guess. It's a little bit short, but it actually rides really well, especially in bows. So show you some bow speed just now. Something you can consider a very cheap option, because right now Decathlon is selling it at $80 only, and the trucks, if I'm not wrong, was 20 online. The CX trucks, depends on what website you get from, and it rides really well. It's way better than I expected. I also saw that if you want an even cheaper alternative, I saw some people adding just a angle riser pad to the regular traditional kingpin trucks with an angle riser, and it rides like a surfskate. I mean, a little bit more like a surfskate. Maybe you can change the bushings so that it is more responsive. But be careful of wheel bites. For this, so far I haven't had any wheel bites with this clone CX trucks. Maybe you get some with traditional kingpin, I don't know. But you can try. So that's all. Let me know what kind of setup you have. Please don't tell me your completes. Completes are supposed to be great. So yeah. And that's all I have for all my surfskate setups. I'm not doing this for like, you know, for the views or anything. I just want to share my views with you guys about customizing your decks, or people who can't afford to buy completes and they want to customize something that fits them with cheap stuff. So you can contact me, Instagram account below. Yeah, or just drop me a message in this video, and I'll send you back a message and share my views on it. Goodbye.